Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Engage or hire for work. They hired 2 new secretaries in the department. Hold under a lease or rental agreement of goods and services. Engage for service under a term of contract. A newly hired employee. The new hires need special training. The act of hiring something or someone. He signed up for a week's car hire. Engage or hire for work. How many people has she employed? The state of being employed or having a job. They are looking for employment. Put into service. Make work or employ for a particular purpose or for its inherent or natural purpose. Consume all of one's attention or time. Carry out or participate in an activity. Be involved in. They engaged in a discussion. Engage or hire for work. Give to in marriage. Carry on, wars, battles, or campaigns. Engage for service under a term of contract. Keep engaged. Engage the gears. Hire for work or assistance. Engage aid, help, services, or support. Ask to represent. Of legal counsel. Get caught. Make sure the gear is engaged. Hold under a lease or rental agreement. Of goods and services. Engage for service under a term of contract. A contract to hire or lease transportation. A document incorporating an institution and specifying its rights, includes the Articles of Incorporation and the Certificate of Incorporation. Grant a charter to. Grant use or occupation of under a term of contract. Let for money. Hold under a lease or rental agreement. Of goods and services. Engage for service under a term of contract. The period of time during which a contract conveying property to a person is in effect. Property that is leased or rented out or let. A contract granting use or occupation of property during a specified time for a specified payment. Grant use or occupation of under a term of contract. Let for money. We rented our apartment to friends while we were abroad. An opening made forcibly as by pulling apart. The return derived from cultivated land in excess of that derived from the poorest land cultivated under similar conditions. Hold under a lease or rental agreement. Of goods and services. Engage for service under a term of contract. Let's rent a car. The act of rending or ripping or splitting something. A payment or series of payments made by the lessee to an owner for use of some property, facility, equipment, or service. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Be capable of holding or containing. This box won't take all the items. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. Take the gun from your pocket. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. I don't take sugar in my coffee. Make a film or photograph of something. Take a scene. Be designed to hold or take. This surface will not take the dye. Require, time or space. Take somebody somewhere. Can you take me to the main entrance? Have sex with. Archaic use. He had taken this woman when she was most vulnerable. Have with oneself. Have on one's person. She always takes an umbrella. Receive or obtain regularly. We take the Times every day. Admit into a group or community. Head into a specified direction. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Assume, as of positions or roles. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. How should I take this message? Lay claim to, as of an idea. Accept or undergo, often unwillingly. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Take a risk. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Engage for service under a term of contract. Shall we take a guide in Rome? Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. Take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Take as an undesirable consequence of some event or state of affairs. Get into one's hands, take physically. Can you take this bag, please? Require as useful, just, or proper. It takes nerve to do what she did. Occupy or take on. Receive willingly something given or offered. Be a student of a certain subject. Proceed along in a vehicle. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. Ascertain or determine by measuring, computing or take a reading from a dial. Take a pulse. Be seized or affected in a specified way. Take sick. Buy, select. I'll take a pound of that sausage. Carry out. Take action. Experience or feel or submit to. Obtain by winning. Winner takes all. Take by force. Take into one's possession. I'll take 3 salmon steaks. The act of photographing a scene or part of a scene without interruption. Travel or go by means of a certain kind of transportation, or a certain route. He takes the bus to work. Enter into a contractual arrangement. Promise to do or accomplish. Accept as a charge. Enter upon an activity or enterprise. Accept as a challenge. Become smaller or draw together. Enter into a contractual arrangement. Reduce in scope while retaining essential elements. Contract bridge. The highest bid becomes the contract setting the number of tricks that the bidder must make. Make or become more narrow or restricted. A variety of bridge in which the bidder receives points toward game only for the number of tricks he bid. Compress or concentrate. Engage by written agreement. Squeeze or press together. The spasm contracted the muscle. Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. A binding agreement between two or more persons that is enforceable by law. Make smaller. The heat contracted the woolen garment. Reach with a blow or hit in a particular spot. Come to have or undergo a change of physical features and attributes. Leave immediately. Used usually in the imperative form. Perceive by hearing. She didn't get his name when they met the first time. Undergo, as of injuries and illnesses. Make, offspring, by reproduction. Give certain properties to something. Get someone mad. Be a mystery or bewildering to. Suffer from the receipt of. Receive as a retribution or punishment. Take vengeance on or get even. We'll get them. Achieve a point or goal. Move into a desired direction of discourse. Go through, mental or physical states or experiences. Get an idea. Irritate. Her childish behavior really get to me. Take the first step or steps in carrying out an action. Let's get down to work now. Succeed in catching or seizing, especially after a chase. Apprehend and reproduce accurately. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. It must be getting more serious. Attract and fix. Receive a specified treatment, abstract. Earn or achieve a base by being walked by the pitcher. Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. Cause to move. Cause to be in a certain position or condition. Come into the possession of something concrete or abstract. Cause to do. Cause to act in a specified manner. Reach a destination. Arrive by movement or progress. She didn't get to Chicago until after midnight. Go or come after and bring or take back. Grasp with the mind or develop an understanding of. Did you get it? Acquire as a result of some effort or action. You cannot get water out of a stone. A return on a shot that seemed impossible to reach and would normally have resulted in a point for the opponent. Communicate with a place or person. Establish communication with, as if by telephone. The operator couldn't get Kobe because of the earthquake. Evoke an emotional response. Brahms's Requiem gets me every time. Overcome or destroy. Purchase. What did you get at the toy store? Reach and board. Reach by calculation. What do you get when you add up these numbers? Come to have or undergo a change of physical features and attributes. Gain through experience. I acquired a strong aversion to television. Gain knowledge or skills. Children acquire language at an amazing rate. Win something through one's efforts. I acquired a passing knowledge of Chinese. Come into the possession of something concrete or abstract. They acquired a new pet. Take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Locate, a moving entity, by means of a tracking system such as radar. A worker who is hired to perform a job. Something that people do or cause to happen. Something that people do or cause to happen. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document signed and sealed and delivered to effect a transfer of property and to show the legal right to possess it. He signed the deed. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. He acted the idiot. Behave unnaturally or affectedly. She's just acting. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document codifying the result of deliberations of a committee or society or legislative body. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. Think before you act. A short performance that is part of a longer program. He did his act 3 times every evening. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. How does your idea work in practice? Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior. Conduct or comport oneself. You should act like an adult. Play a role or part. She wants to act Lady Macbeth, but she is too young for the role. A manifestation of insincerity. He put on quite an act for her benefit. A subdivision of a play or opera or ballet. Be engaged in an activity, often for no particular purpose other than pleasure. Be suitable for theatrical performance. This scene acts well. Discharge one's duties. She acts as the chair. Engage by written agreement. Arranged for contracted work to be done by others. A contract assigning to another party some obligations of a prior contract. Work under a subcontract. Engage in a subcontract. Arranged for contracted work to be done by others. Grant the services of or the temporary use of, for a fee. A mattress stuffed with feathers. Treat with excessive indulgence. Hire more workers than are necessary. Make full, also in a metaphorical sense. Fill a container. Any material that fills a space or container. There was not enough fill for the trench. Occupy the whole of. The liquid fills the container. Become full. The pool slowly filled with water. Fill, satisfy or meet a want or need or conscient or restriction. Assume, as of positions or roles. Eat until one is sated. He filled up on turkey. Fill to satisfaction. Appoint someone to a position or a job. A quantity sufficient to satisfy. He ate his fill of potatoes. Plug with a substance. Fill a cavity. A specific piece of work required to be done as a duty or for a specific fee. Estimates of the city's loss on that job ranged as high as $1 million. A crime, especially a robbery. The gang pulled off a bank job in St. Louis. Invest at a risk. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. Arranged for contracted work to be done by others. A state of difficulty that needs to be resolved. It is always a job to contact him. A book in the Old Testament containing Job's pleas to God about his afflictions and God's reply. A damaging piece of work. Dry rot did the job of destroying the barn. A Jewish hero in the Old Testament who maintained his faith in God in spite of afflictions that tested him. An object worked on, a result produced by working. He held the job in his left hand and worked on it with his right. Any long-suffering person who withstands affliction without despairing. A workplace, as in the expression, on the job. Computer science, a program application that may consist of several steps but is a single logical unit. Profit privately from public office and official business. The performance of a piece of work. She did an outstanding job as Ophelia. The responsibility to do something. It is their job to print the truth. Work occasionally. As a student, I jobbed during the semester breaks. Go on board. Transport commercially. A vessel that carries passengers or freight. Hire for work on a ship. Place on board a ship. Ship the cargo in the hold of the vessel. Travel by ship. Someone who works, or provides workers, during a strike. A person who is deemed to be despicable or contemptible. Kill the rat. Take the place of work of someone on strike. Give away information about somebody. One who reveals confidential information in return for money. Any of various long-tailed rodents similar to but larger than a mouse. A pad, usually made of hair, worn as part of a woman's coiffure. Catch rats, especially with dogs. Desert one's party or group of friends, for example, for one's personal advantage. Employ scabs or strikebreakers in. Give, hair, the appearance of being fuller by using a rat. Structure displaying a board on which advertisements can be posted. The highway was lined with signboards. A perceptible indication of something not immediately apparent, as a visible clue that something has happened. He showed signs of strain. Mark with one's signature. Write one's name, on. She signed the letter and sent it off. Make the sign of the cross over someone in order to call on God for protection. Consecrate. Any nonverbal action or gesture that encodes a message. Signals from the boat suddenly stopped. Engage by written agreement. They signed 2 new pitchers for the next season. Used of the language of the deaf. An event that is experienced as indicating important things to come. It was a sign from God. Approve and express assent, responsibility, or obligation. Have you signed your contract yet? Communicate silently and non-verbally by signals or signs. He signed his disapproval with a dismissive hand gesture. Astrology, one of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. Having an indicated pole, as the distinction between positive and negative electric charges. Charges of opposite sign. A character indicating a relation between quantities. Don't forget the minus sign. A fundamental linguistic unit linking a signifier to that which is signified. The bond between the signifier and the signified is arbitrary. A gesture that is part of a sign language. A public display of a message. He posted signs in all the shop windows. Be engaged by a written agreement. He signed to play the casino on December 18th. Communicate in sign language. I don't know how to sign, so I could not communicate with my deaf cousin. Medicine. Any objective evidence of the presence of a disorder or disease. There were no signs of asphyxiation. Place signs, as along a road. Sign an intersection. Engage by written agreement. Join a club, an activity, etc. with the intention to join or participate.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.